Alrighty, what is up guys? Evan Aldo here. We are in a very fun time. You know, it's almost surreal seeing Bitcoin at 82K, man. Big numbers. I remember when we were talking about 80K, 90K. I remember when people were talking about this, back at the end of 21. And, 3 years later, we're finally here at the end of 2024. So, first time we've made after we hit 76K. If you adjust for inflation, this is the first new all-time high since 2021. So the 4-year cycle in that aspect of making the new all-time high at the end of the year, similar to what we did over here December 2020, and then over, I believe it could have been January, maybe it was technically February of 2017 where you made that new all-time high. Let's say it was January. I think it was January. So that was January, and it was a month sooner here in December in this cycle, and then a month sooner. Let's go with that. Yeah, I like that. I like that pattern. A month sooner, each time. When you look at some of the real high time frames, green dot on the monthly, just wanted to see. So here was essentially almost a sell signal. It did bring you up to a new all-time high, came crashing down. But in the 4-year cycle, that was a lot later. That was a lot later. That was where you expected things to be done. So not a problem there. That was a green dot right here. So same thing in 2020. I guess if you're betting on a black swan event, but no, more so here. More so comparatively to maybe May of 2020, where just that parabolic continuation upward. I think it would take longer though. I think it would definitely take longer. I want to look at the Bitcoin all-time history index quickly here, because this is kind of, where was this? August. Okay, so I was using this a while ago, comparing something else, but so yeah, and what we were looking at ultimately was kind of that green dot there, October. So end of kind of that end of year situation, leading into a nice run up. So yeah, ultimately it looks good. It looks good. Now let's go back to, I want to just go back to the spider lines for you to give you guys some, we'll talk about some, longer term targets, I guess, what I think we would kind of stay on, this, where's our kind of path what we're on right now? I mean, you got 160, looking at end of year, high end, this would be your case for around, 180 to 200. That's probably the absolute highest end I could see, maybe 200. A lot of people are going to get very rich if that does happen. Not impossible. I mean, not too much, not too far off of a 2x here. However, when you look at more of this trajectory, this would be a better trajectory that I would guess we would see into 140. That's my guess. I could be wrong. Maybe I'm underplaying it. I would see the more all-time more bearish case would just be 100K, but I think you're going to get it. Seems like you got some momentum to get above that. We'll see what happens, and I think you could gradually keep going throughout a lot of next year, similar to what you did in kind of 2017. So if we look at the 5-day, it doesn't tell us too much. I mean, an anchor wave forming, it's a large time frame. Money flow still looks okay in a lot of these time frames. Continuation on the 2-day. I mean, if it's like got to go back to a while for 21, but if we're kind of at this point right here, I mean, it would be unlikely for us to get, a double peak in April and in November. It'd be highly unlikely to have that exact same thing play out 4 years later. I think it's going to be more gradual. So, but I think, this could be in the green for a while here on the 2-day, all the way up to, those targets that I was just talking about. So yeah, and I mean, when we look at money flow here, it still looks okay. So short term, I'll show you, let's just show you a trade that I've been, I want to just carefully show you, because I don't want to show you my stop loss or my take profit on AVAX here. Link is in the description below for that one. It's a good trade, doing really well here on BYDFI. This is a good exchange to use because look at that funding rate. That's pretty low compared to some other exchanges right now, that funding rate, especially if you guys are going along, especially if you're going along. Don't get me wrong, I like BloFin. BloFin is great too. Both of those exchanges kind of are competing, for my audience, for you guys. 10% off on your fees on both of them if you sign up with my link. In addition, there's a 10% bonus, futures bonus, depending on how much you deposit. The max is 1K on BYDFI and the max is 2K on BloFin. And in addition to that, what I give you guys is I give you guys 2 month or 1 month free in the Aldo Empire VIP Discord. If you sign up to either of those exchanges, deposit at least $100 and open a support ticket over support tickets. These are the two trades, or this is the E trade that I doubled here. And then you can see these, and then we got Nightshade, KMAC as well. He's mainly in the Forex, but we got a lot of good people in here. So you could go open the support ticket here. There's also a method to pay in crypto. So check that out if you guys are interested as well. So yeah. Now moving on to kind of more of the short term here. I mean, there's not much in terms of spiral lines unless I missed spiral line separating us here between here and 94K. That would be a good goal for end of year next month. Maybe 94K. Maybe we almost get to that 100K and reject. It's a hell of an exciting time here. And ultimately right there, 83K, 83.7K would be the next big kind of place here, linear spiral line. We could bust right through it. Who knows? I mean, I'm just looking at that right there. But I think you would get at least a little bit of a speed bump consolidation here. Could be the first place I would kind of look for, going for maybe a scalp short. But yeah, ETH, your technical target really out of this breakout, there's a few different ways to, it's a little subjective, but if we go from the highs to the lows there of this breakout, kind of a little bit above where we're hitting right now. ETH looks great. I mean, I don't want to waste too much time on the macro here, but I mean, ETH, I think you got a good shot of, where was my, I don't know. Yeah, low end would be high, probably a worst case scenario, just a rejection from old all-time highs. And then on the real high end, you may be able to get up to frickin', 8K, maybe even higher, who knows. But I think you at least could get up to at least a good shot at like 75, 7,500 there. And probably will continue to outperform Bitcoin for a while. Money flow looks good here on your 3-day. So macro looks great. I mean, if you could, let's just see if you were to repeat this. Now we know things don't repeat exactly, but yeah, I mean, that's a 64, 65 there into March maybe. I feel like that's a little bit too quick. I think it's going to be more of a gradual incline, but we'll see. And now you're getting kind of an anchor wave in your 12-hour. I still think you're going to probably, before all is said and done, this rally up for local tops, you're at least going to hit this spiral line. It would be kind of annoying if you don't. Some of these trigger waves will probably bring you a little bit farther up this week. I would kind of guess. So yeah. And just looking at this, short term, you may come down a little bit, but I would be careful with the shorts. I'd be careful trying to short this at the moment. Let's look at ETH, versus Bitcoin. Here's the big question, Did we bottom out against Bitcoin? Kind of a hidden level, right here it is a fib level. We bounced off nicely. I think your odds of bottoming out go up a lot if we do confirm this bull div in 6 days on the 2-week. If we were to go down farther, I would say your probably worst case scenario is 0.03, but never say never, who knows. There are people who have been questioning ETH lately, and who knows? They could be right. I think they're wrong, but I think they're wrong, and I think ETH is going to do very well over the next year and really outperform Bitcoin. But we'll see what happens. So that's all I can say. I mean, it's rejecting here. Maybe you make a lower low. Maybe you bottomed out. I don't know. Bitcoin dominance, the same can be said. It's kind of hard to say. I mean, you're getting a bear div here in the weekly. Previous ones didn't give you too much, so we'll see what happens. It's eventually going to top out. Maybe it gets up to 62. It depends what happens into the end of the year. I mean, if you get a pullback, I could see this coming up a bit more. Maybe we stay in a more Bitcoin dominant rally into the next month to 2 months. Maybe we got to wait for one more Fed pivot, Fed rate cut. We'll see what happens. It looks like it's going to be 25 basis points next. So I think regardless of what happens, you're not going to bleed much more. For ETH versus Bitcoin. I mean, that's about 13% down. Others versus Bitcoin, if you do really bleed down a little bit more, okay, that's 26%, but that's another one to look at too. And you're getting, I mean, as long as we can hold this area, you're pretty bullish, you're pretty good here. I mean, it's not the most, appealing chart overall, I would say, others versus Bitcoin, but you're getting some more kind of bullish signs, so you definitely could have bottomed out. Again, I mean, maybe we come down a little bit more and then you get that big jump up, early next year. Definitely possible here. Looking at a few ones I like, AVAX, you guys like, I know I like AVAX. I mean, trigger wave right here. I think a lot of the big goal for these is potentially getting back up to your yearly highs by the end of the year, right around 67. If not by the end of the year, hopefully early next year. I think there's a lot of freaking potential here. I mean, that's about a double up to there, so it's going to be really good. Navax is a good project, so this is one I really have high hopes for. As you guys know, or as you guys, some of you guys know probably, I own a lot of altcoins, so it's more of a, you know, hedging the bets, venture capitalism approach that I do. So, but this one looks good. So yeah, if we look at, you know, Cardano versus Bitcoin, look at that green, you know, Heikin-Ashi monthly right there. A lot of people have doubted Cardano. We'll see what happens, you know. It didn't make a new high against Bitcoin here in this previous cycle, but maybe we get back up to, you know, this point. We'll have to definitely see what happens. I like Cardano, big jump up to, you know, close to the yearly highs. I think you'll at least get there within the next month, and then after that, your technical target's at 220. So, you know, look at that monthly. I mean, it normally does. It's rare it looks that good. So, you know, that's what I really like here. That's what I really like in Cardano. I know a lot of people have been excited about SUI. You got a long-term freaking technical target at, let's see where that is. Yeah. So let's try to get up to 680. That's a long-term technical target. I think you could get there. When do you get there? I don't know. After that, we'll see. That's all I'm going to say about this. We'll see what happens. Matic is another one. It really got demolished. Just looking at this Bitcoin chart, some of these really got demolished, but trying to finally come up, save the day on that weekly bull div. I know some people have doubted Matic. I mean, the Trump NFTs are under, or at least some of them, or all of them, I don't even know. But the Trump NFTs are under the Matic chain. So, you know, those are going to be able to be traded December 31st. We'll see what happens there. Hopefully this jumps up and helps that out as well, with the Lion coming back into office, and then trying to get that jump there. I mean, if you could do something of this nature, 270. I mean, I don't think it's a dead project. As long as you could hold, you know, where we are right now, as long as you could hold that 37 mark, I think we should be okay. But you know, you never know with some of these alts. So yeah. And anyway, guys, a lot of good, you know, potential trades that we've talked about in the Discord. If you guys are interested, again, check out the link down below if you want one free month in there. If you check out BYDFI or BloFin down below, deposit at least $100, give you one free month. Just open support ticket with your UID in the Discord. So check that out. All right, guys, smash the like button, subscribe to the channel if you're new. Always appreciate you guys. Have a good one. Goodbye.